Nubreed, Global Truth. What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. Welcome to another broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well. I see you all rolling in the chat. Grace Hill, what's going on? True Peace and Securities in the building. KC Moto, Hayes. The Vitality Journal is in the building. Mr. Wowsy, salute. Sister 1973, Q Brown is in the building. All right. Hope everybody is ready to be very receptive to some real pivotal information. Real pivotal information. You know, knowledge is power. That's right. Unveiled Woman's in the building. All right, I'm glad to have y'all. Now, before we even start diving in, I'm going to go ahead and share the link because at any time, as a viewer of my particular program, you can always join. You can always join in. We're not doing panels, but what we're going to do is if a person wants to chime in, join in, you get like 5 minutes. You say what you need to say. You get off the stream. We bring the next guest in. That's how it works. All right. And that's at any point of the show. Now, we're in a bit of a conundrum here in America. In America, you got everybody claiming black fatigue. And it's nothing but a movement that's being pushed by the far right. It's a reverse racism agenda. It's social engineering to dehumanize black people. That's pretty much what it is. But in actuality, let me take you back here. Because in reality, Black Fatigue is a book that was written that should be mentioned. Because the book was very important. Black Fatigue was very, very important. And I just got a couple footnotes off of that book. And I want to kind of throw some things at y'all here, right? Because in case you've been, living under a rock, there's been a lot of people out here screaming Black Fatigue, saying that they're tired of black people. They said they're tired of us complaining. They've even given it a new definition in the Urban Dictionary. Wow, the irony of that. This went to the Urban Dictionary. Very interesting. Now, they put this term here and they saying basically it's when other people are forced to hear the plight of our people. So in hindsight, what it really is pretty much, they're tired of feeling guilty for what they done. They don't want to be called out. They don't want to be held accountable for the travesties that was committed. They don't feel as if they owe us anything. Although, slavery was leveraged for all the world banks that we see today. All the world banks in America and so forth. They were leveraged by slave labor. So the irony of them saying they don't owe anything when everything is because of these people, that's just disrespectful in itself. Yeah, it's getting really out of hand. A lot of disrespect coming from other nations, as well as a lot of disrespect coming from our own people. And, we got to definitely discuss this. Carl Nichols says it's called cognitive dissonance. Oh, yeah, a lot of people got that. Q Johnson, I see you. He says, what's good, family? Just chiming in. All right. As y'all enter the broadcast, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up. Now, the truth is Black fatigue, the real definition of Black fatigue is a term and a concept that describes chronic cumulative emotional, physical, and psychological tolls that systematic racism, microaggressions, and societal inequity have caused Black people, especially in the United States and other Western societies. Now, this term, ladies and gentlemen, was popularized by Mary Frances Winters. She wrote a book in 2020, and she brung a whole lot of truth in this book, a whole lot of rich history, a whole lot of things from that book should really be put into perspective, right? She talks about how racism erodes the mind, body, and spirit. I'll give you a couple footnotes here. The generational trauma. She talks about the psychological wounds of slavery, segregation, and racism passed through down from generation to generation. The effects that don't just fade over time, they accumulate. Daily microaggressions, constant, often subtle discrimination, like being followed in stores or spoken over in meetings. Yep. So, she didn't make the book called White Fatigue because, we may experience microaggressions in corporate America. Like when you work for corporate America and they pull you to the side and they say, you're not like the other guys. You're different from them. That's a microaggression. Or then, oh, I like your hair. Oh, I like your hair. Can I touch it? Can I touch your hair? Those are microaggressions. The passive aggressiveness. She wasn't petty and wrote a book called White Fatigue. No, she's talking about our plight and how our people feel. Her name is Mary Frances Winters. Mary Frances Winters. Very intelligent woman, right? Yeah. Very, very intelligent woman. And she talks about code switching and emotional labor. It's interesting. All of the things she talked about still hold a lot of weight today. She wrote this book in 2020, and now that Trump is in office and the strong right Republican Party, they trying to, reverse the meaning of Black fatigue because that book held weight. Now, let me make this clear. I always got to put my disclaimers out there. Yeah, Greg Archer says it's just disrespectful. Right. More often than not, when I have these discussions, people believe that I'm a Democrat. Please let me make this very clear to you all. I'm just a free thinker. I'm simply a free thinker, right? I believe in the Almighty God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I believe in the Holy Scriptures. I consider myself a very spiritual brother. And that's that. When it comes to politics, I go right down the middle. And for those who may be just joining my platform, I went in on Biden too when he was in office. So when I talk about strong right, don't just think that means I automatically represent the left. Doesn't mean that at all, right? Over at this platform, you're dealing with highly intelligent people. You're dealing with free thinkers. You're dealing with people who think outside the social confines of this cataclysm that we call society, that we call the United States of America, right? We just pretty much think out the box, right? But black fatigue, it talks about code switching. And we got a lot of people code switching. And that means Black people are often expected to change their behavior, their tone, or appearance to make others comfortable. So I will give you an example. Like there was some graduation that took place where all these young ladies, they were dancing, they were lit, they were partying. And everybody in the media tried to make them look like they were animals or something. And they were just dancing. I mean, they wasn't really twerking. They were just having a good time. They were celebrating because they just graduated, and a lot of them all earned master's degrees. This is future lawyers, doctors, so on and so forth. And they were celebrating. But they have to be made to feel bad for celebrating the way that they want to celebrate. That would be an example of that. Whereas though if it was, some white people having a rock session, it wouldn't be looked at that way. So it's a cultural biasness where we're expected to always be calm, always quiet, never show our culture, never, we have to mold ourselves to make other people comfortable, is what she was talking about. And that's very true. Now, I don't agree with ratchetness. I don't agree with these bras that be out here going to kids' places, you know what I'm saying, going to Chuck E. Cheese with all their whole ass out. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with guys running around smelling like pure chief or reefer, going into, certain places, pants sagging, looking crazy. I don't agree with none of that. But what I'm trying to say is the slightest thing our people do is always highlighted and magnified for the media. You understand? And they take these websites like World Star Hip Hop and different other social media platforms and manipulate the algorithm to push people who seem to be a bit unruly, right? In order to demonize us as a whole, right? Now, also, this book talks about the masking of authentic identity and how exhausting it is over time. It talks about the physical health impacts, such as chronic stress and things of that nature, mental health strain, depression, anxiety, PTSD, workplace disparities. Black professionals often face isolation, lack of mentorship, racism, you know, diversity fatigue, systematic injustice, policing healthcare, education, and housing systems. Disappropriately harm Black individuals, leading to cumulative burnout. So these are the things she talked about. And she brought solution. She brought solutions in her book. It talked about restorative justice and reparations. Yes, she talked about reparations. She talked about what it would take to right the wrongs. And it's no wonder why the strong right is speaking so much against this, because this is becoming a growing trend where Black people are no longer saying that they're African Americans. They're now stating claim to being foundational Black Americans who deserve their residuals from the work that their ancestors have done on this here land of the United States. We're no longer claiming to be two continents, which is a great start. So, of course, this is war. So they're always going to have these proxies. They're always going to have these agendas that they push to counteract what we address. Because, ladies and gentlemen, never forget that the power is in the politics that you and I address. When we talking about certain things, they have to address it. No matter how big or small that you are, speak truth. Speak truth to power, right? But you got these people running around talking about they got Black fatigue. And, everybody seemed to have issues with us. But it talks about restorative justice and reparations, culturally competent mental health services. And I agree, it's a lot of people behind bars that need competent mental health services. We need community support and safe spaces. And that's what you get over here on this platform. This is a community support. This is a safe space. And it's only a select few platforms that are like that, where you're not being called animals and you're not being called savages and you're not being disrespected or, having to deal with microaggressions and so forth, right? It's not too many places you can go to get that. Organizational accountability in workplaces, education and unlearning racism among non-Black people. Hey, listen, education and unlearning racism among non-Black people. We need all that in this country. We need all of that in this country. I mean, because now you got some phenomenon going on right now where gingers, they're claiming that they're black people now. Yeah, we got to react to. There's a lot going on in the news. And I want to tell you what I think about that. I'm gonna save my thoughts for now, but we're gonna go. There's a lot going on. I don't know if y'all been looking at the news, but one of the ICE prosecutors, they just got unmasked for running a very, very racist Twitter page, an X account. Yeah. An ICE prosecutor, I'm talking about with a high rank, just got unmasked. This just happened. So, it's getting wild out here. There's a lot going on in the news. And then we got this white genocide that's going on. And anybody can feel free to chime in at any point in time. And when you do join, when you do hit the link, I want you to keep in mind that you're going to address one subject or the other. You can either talk about black fatigue or you could talk about white genocide, because Donald Trump is claiming that Southern Afrikaners have experienced white genocide. And I have slightly reacted to this particular video here, but I want to do a full breakdown and analysis on this because it's a lot that we can learn. It's a lot that we can learn about how colonialism works, how white supremacy works, how they continue to pillage and scour the world for all the resources, and how they manage to be able to dehumanize the people they're doing it to. And they do this publicly. Let me see. Somebody says, if we support our people the way they welcome Ginger, boy, are we stepping in the right direction. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on, man. We got people really practicing transracialism. And I know the agenda behind it, but I'm going to save that. Let me see here. AJ, what's going on, brother? You got 5 minutes.
Oh, dang, you put me right on the spot. All right, bet. So I do have a lot to say on this situation, just definitely on the whole situation that he went to Africa. And there's a lot already going on here. Like, definitely on the fact that it's like anything that happens to black people, like no one does anything about it. Like, they don't care. But right. When it came to another country, when another place, he moves immediately. He says something about it immediately, and they put it on forefront. Like, this never really happened ever. But now they're putting it out there because, of course, they want to put more division out there. They want to bring in more of them. It's a whole war in the mental that they don't really see. And they're trying to make it where it's like, dang, like, now that we're putting a slip of the hand on it, now you'll understand there's a revelation coming on.
Absolutely. And you're speaking in regards of the quote unquote white genocide that Trump is speaking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a lot of information that the general public don't quite have about this. And, of course, we're going to explore that and bring it out. But one thing that they're very cunning and crafty at doing is victimizing themselves while they conquer. And that's really what's happening right now. And just the fact that the world is primed for something like that, a movement like that, where there's only 7% of Afrikaners are white, right? And they run 70% of all the resources there. But now they're being called. Now he's claiming they're going through genocide. Now check this out here. Let me add this too. This is crazy. A lot of those Afrikaners that came over here, come to find out, a lot of them don't even know how to farm. Yep, a lot of them don't know how to farm, and to add insult to injury, they don't know the first thing about it, and because what Trump is trying to do is hire more white farmers, essentially.
But that's where the AI situation is stepping in, also with the whole business, because he also understands at the end of the day that what he wants is to collapse the whole economy, but he also wants to make sure that the people of color, his color, is also stay in power. He still they're really desperate for them to stay in power. That's the main thing in their mind. Is that they want to keep the power so desperately because they, like you just said, people are waking up, people are seeing, people are tired of it. We're getting too tired of it. Now people don't even want to go work no more because now we realize we're easily to be replaced. So it's getting to that point now where it's like, nah, like we're having enough. And I think he's seeing that. He is hearing that. So now that he's seeing that we're getting enough of it, he's like, okay, now we're gonna need reinforcements. We need to bring in more.
Yep.
But also he also with the slide hand has to make it seem like, oh, okay, we need to make it a race war on top of that, make it like black people are doing something or black people are doing this. He also has to humiliate us on that similar thing. And he does it to the Latinas and all the Latino, all the cultures and indigenous and the Israelites. He has to do it to all of us.
No, that is facts, brother. You brung the facts. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you, man.
Each guest 5 minutes. Feel free to join anytime.
No problem. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, you too. Peace. Yeah, the brothers 100% correct. You know, they definitely want to start a race war, and they're using a lot of crowdfunding to do it as well. But yeah, man, those people that came over here, come to find out, a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them were just security guards and worked various jobs, but they were posing as farmers. They had regular old jobs. One of them might have owned a trailer or a tractor or thought about buying a tractor, but Trump then brung these people over. They don't know the first thing about farming, right? Because of the real farmers over there, they're not being exterminated. They're not being killed and their land taken from them, right? But anyway, let's dive into this a little bit. We talking about white genocide, and I want everybody to get the likes up on the video. Let's go. Let's spread the notification the best way we can. You know, I do realize that they don't want this material that I put out popularized because it's just the truth. And this material that I put out here is very, very informative. You're going to learn a lot, right? So, no further ado, let's get into it.
Be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that question. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our president will respond to you. Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me.
Now, let me make this clear. Let me tell y'all what's happening right now. Now, a lot of you all don't know this, but Trump got 3 separate mineral explorations going on in Africa right now. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Now, of course, it doesn't have Trump's name on it, but these mineral explorations are very much recent, and he's the president. So I want to talk a little bit about that because then you'll realize why they're actually starting to try to mess with Africa, why they trying to, low-key spin the block on Africa, because that's what's really going on right now. Yeah, people didn't know that they had mineral explorations going on there, and I'm going to bring that out. The First Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, the Strategic Mineral and Security Assistance. In early 2025, the DRC proposed a deal to the United States offering access in its vast mineral resources, including cobalt, lithium, copper, titanium, in exchange for U.S. assistance in combating the M23 rebel group. This proposal aimed to leverage the DRC's mineral wealth to gain security support from the U.S. So in exchange for security, They already got mineral explorations on that side. So if you look, I'm telling y'all, man, hey, a lot of people not talking about this, and we wonder why they messing with Africa or South Africa's tension and mineral access discussions, which escalated in when 2025. Because what? Trump accused South Africa of discriminatory land practices. In response, the South African minister and minerals of resources energy, Gweed Matashi, suggested the possibility of withholding mineral exports. So now that we know what it's about. It's about the herb. It's always about the resources. It's always about the resources, y'all. This is what colonizers do. They always going after the minerals, the land, the earth, all of it. See, but I'm very informed about all of this. And there's also a U.S. policy on developing Africa's minor section. The Trump administration expressed interest in developing Africa's mining sector. An executive order signed the first day of Trump's second term. Focus on minerals, mineral extractions, and processing, indicating a strategic move to secure critical mineral supply chains, while the initiatives reflect the U.S. government's strategic interest in Africa's mineral resources during Trump's tenure. See, we know what it's about. Now you're getting some context of why he over there messing with Africa. Why he's trying to get the farmers out of there. I smell a land grab coming. I see some foul play in the works. Africa, you got to stop letting these people come over there and get your minerals, get your resources. Got to stop doing it. Let's go. Yeah, if Africa unite, it's trouble. If they get some export, it's trouble. Let's go.
So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that, is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land?
I mean, he's saying something that's true. Who are you to tell us where we can occupy land? You know, of course, that particular minority political affiliation is not the president. And we discussed this before. That is their land anyway. It's like, you know, it's like you're trying to explain why somebody is taking their own land back. You know, it's like, how do you explain that? But nonetheless, these guys right here, they don't have no reflection on the Southern African president. All right.
We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So can we drop my membership from this useless parliament?
Now, why are the South Africans so fixated in occupying land? You know, why? Because they've been through a lot through the apartheid movement. Oh, they went through a lot. I'm talking about they're still staggering from that. That was a major blow. And now, you know, you got these strong white rights claiming white genocide. And in actuality, ain't no damn white genocide. There's no such thing. It didn't happen. All right, let's continue.
Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot, kill, Namaza, kill the poor, the farmer.
And see, all this is a song. In proper context, they're not literally talking about hurting nobody. They're doing what they doing. They doing a tribal thing. Something that Trump don't understand, but this scares them. Y'all got to understand that whites in Africa have controlled every facet of black existence for decades now, and they're tired, just like we're tired in America. But you got so many of these get out Negroes who can't wake up and don't want to speak up and don't want to speak out because they comfortable. They comfortable bowing to their white daddy for everything. But in Africa, imagine a majority black country that realizes that it's a very small percentage of white people and they're being told what they can and can't do. So they have more of a sense of security to get on their national TV and do their tribal thing. And Trump looking at it like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Here he is screaming white genocide, and Leopold killed millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of Africans. And you don't hear nothing about a black genocide in Africa. Let's go.
The poor, the farmer, pa, 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 to kill the master, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer.
The man of DAE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Pajama and Suri will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot, kill, Yamasa, kill the poor, the farmer.
And so they just doing their tribal thing. It's really none of Trump's business. You understand what I'm saying? Because inequality remains deep in Africa. And it ain't for white people. And we talking about a society dealing with high crime, poverty, and deep historical wounds, right? We're talking about the origin of all world religions being dictated by this guy over here. Now, we need the real nitty gritty to what's going on, right? I want to share something with y'all. Real quick. This is for those who want to get the education on what they're really doing in Africa, right? Peep this. This is how they managed to control Africa this entire time. Listen up.
So we do have some time now for questions from the audience. I wonder if we should just take a few, and then we can respond to them all together. So, okay.
Thank you. I have a question. What's the difference between the U.S. debt and the debt that African nations own? Because the U.S. debt doesn't keep the U.S. from being one of the leading powers of the world, but then African nations can't make it because of that debt that is strangling them.
Should I talk? Okay. The first question is a very important question. What makes African and third world debt different from the American debt? Number one, America is never going to pay its debts. It doesn't have to. Its debts are in its own currency.
Yep, they print the money.
We can simply print it. The African debt is not in its currency. The African debt is in US dollars.
So what does Africa need to do? Ladies and gentlemen, participate in the audience. I want to make sure y'all paying attention. So what does Africa need to do? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Make their own money. Exactly. Mr. Wild Seed got it. They need to create their own currency. Muammar Gaddafi attempted to do that, and he was trying to back it by the gold standard, and he was eliminated, taken off of the map. That's right. Let's go.
Africa has to earn the US dollars, and the only way it can earn the US dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent.
They don't want Africa to become independent. So this is what it's about. They're trying to keep them from doing their farming, keep them reliant on America, and keep them on the dollar standard, the Federal Reserve notes.
Earn the US dollars, and the only way it can earn the US dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent.
Not be assassinated for growing its own food. So now you wonder why they having an issue with white farmers. They don't want them to grow their own food. Why? Because once they realize what they have, that's an issue as well. Because why? That means more exports. Let's go.
And doing something that the United States does not like. The principle underlying the foundation of the World Bank, the International Bank for IBRD, research, the World Bank, is that no country should grow its own food. Africa and the third world should only grow export crops. To export, in order to have an oversupply of cocoa and other.
Let me do this personal for ARI says, can we just hear the video before commentary? Let me do you a favor. Got me fucked up. There's a such thing as copyright. I'm a content creator. You're coming to my channel because what I'm doing over here is doing what I need to do to break things down so people can understand it. I don't do that over here. You must be new to the platform. You don't tell me how to run my show. You sit back, you listen, and you learn. All right, we don't do that over here. Just like the other day, we had some guy over that came over here talking about he's a master teacher and he want to teach this and teach that. No, you're not about to come over here and teach nothing. You're going to build and you're going to learn. Anyway, now let's go back and play it. Before I was interrupted with that comment, let's go.
World, but then African nations can't make it because of that debt that is strangling them.
Okay. The first question is a very important question. What makes African and third world debt different from the American debt? Number one, America is never going to pay its debts. It doesn't have to. Its debts are in its own currency. We can simply print it. The African debt is not in its currency. The African debt is in US dollars. Africa has to earn the US dollars, and the only way it can earn the US dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent and doing something that the United States does not like. The principle underlying the foundation of the World Bank, the International Bank for IBRD, the World Bank, is that no country should grow its own food. Africa and the third world should only grow export crops. To export, in order to have an oversupply of cocoa and other tropical.
So the reason why I'm stopping the video is because they're hitting on some key points. Now, people are not allowed, the world governments, the countries of the world are not allowed to grow their own food. Why? Because the World Bank wants their hands in that. The World Bank wants their hands in that. All right, let's continue.
Raw materials to keep down the price. They must buy their grain from the United States or Europe, so that if they do something that we don't like, we can do what America tried to do to China in the 60s. We can sanction them. We can say, we're going to starve you. We're going to not export any grain to you. So owing their foreign debt in dollars means that they have to somehow sell something that the United States wants, not what they want. I think the most evil organizations in the world today are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. And my book, Super Imperialism, that I wrote in 1972, is all about that. The largest purchasers of the book were the Defense Department and the CIA. I was immediately, the organization I worked for was given a $75,000, $85,000 Defense Department contract for me to come to explain to them how American imperialism worked, and they used it as a how to do it book. They thought it was just...
Wow. Those are some bombshells right there. And it's nothing but the truth. You know what them scriptures tell us? Because we got to go to the word and see this right there. This right here is nothing but the truth. And this is why they don't want this word out there, man. I'm telling y'all right now. It's all about controlling the world's food. Second Psalms 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointing. The kings of the earth, they set themselves against the Most High. And the world's been given over to the hands of the wicked, man. Yeah, that's right. Ephesians 6:14. Stand firm. Then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, the armor of righteousness in place. That's right. I mean, these are the colonizers, man. These are the Vikings. And they over there screaming white genocide. I don't think so. Matter of fact, Mr. Trump, he admitted this.
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
But they don't want to run them dollars. He admits that we built the nation, but they don't want to run them dollars. African Americans, you built the nation. I know we did. So what I'm trying to show you is they're always going to eat off the backs of other people, man. This is what the colonizers do. Talking about we just starting to get credit. No, we're not getting credit. He got in office and now everybody got black fatigue. That ain't getting credit. But they got it coming back to him. Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Oh, it ain't nothing that y'all doing that the Most High don't see. Every work will be brought into accordance. That's right. If those politician lips are moving, they're lying. And see, what I'm trying to do is really take the blinders off, because it's like people refuse to see the evil of the colonizers, the Vikings, the Idumeans. Ezekiel 9 and 10. And as for me also, mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their heads. Oh, they're not getting away with nothing. They're not getting away with it. 4th Daniel 8 and 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. That's what they're doing. Right straight to the book of Daniel. That's what the Babylonians doing right now. They make it seem like they coming in peace, but they want war. The scriptures already warned us, when they start saying peace, 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 know that sudden danger come. Yep, that's right. Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's right. And we wonder why they screaming black genocide. I mean, pardon me, white genocide and black fatigue. I'm talking about they don't want us to have nothing. That's ours. I mean nothing. They don't even want us to be us. They want to be us. They want to be everything. They want to be the Egyptians. They want to be the Israelites. Respectfully. Listen, I'm open to building with Jews and Gentiles alike. I don't discriminate with who gets the word, as long as you know who God's people are. In case y'all wondering why I hung up the line, what was it, last night, on that guy that came in. One thing you people ain't going to be doing is y'all not going to come over here and try to teach us the word. The Bible is ours, and we're going to facilitate the scriptures. I'm going to take it as a form of disrespect. You come on over here trying to teach. I'm going to take it as a form of disrespect. Just be who you are, respectfully. But here now they saying that gingers are black people. I don't. This one's different, but we're gonna go there.
It's serious. It's not a game. They are all over TikTok giving their life stories about being bullied and tormented by other white people, and black people, and especially black women, are hyping them up, and the gingers are loving it. They are loving it.
I'm not normally a girl that's going to cry on the internet. I have spent the last hour reading comments that are healing me, healing parts of me that I didn't know needed healed, healing parts of me that I didn't even realize were still hurting. A group of people that have been so marginalized and hated and judged for no reason. A group of people that have dealt with stuff that I will never understand, never fully understand. Y'all are just coming together to love on me? You want to talk about black girl magic? Look at my comments. Look at what you're doing for me.
She says she got black girl magic. Man, I can't do this, man. Social media is wilding, bro. And this is trending right now. Gingers. I don't know who recruited the gingers, but listen, I know why this is happening. I know what's happening right now. See, right now, our people, we're creating a separation between who is really our people and who is turncoats, right? And I'm talking about the tethers and the raccoons. We're drawing a line in our community. And so what's happening now, this hybrid movement is happening because now they're trying to test us. They want to see how we're going to react to this. That's really what it's about. They want to see if we're going to hurl any slurs or any racist remarks to gingers, right? When we're not about to do that. We're not about to do that. We're just going to educate you and simply tell you that you're not black. Now, let me make this clear. A tether or a raccoon isn't a slur. That's a description. That's what they are. Historically. That's just the name for them. But they want us to name them something. We're not going to do that. You're white. We're not going to do that. They're trying to see, they're just trying to, listen, these little movements, these little groups, these little online trends, they all happening for a reason. Now, again, I respect all nationalities, all races, all of that. My wife is Latina. I mean, I don't have nothing against white women. I'm not Umar Johnson. I'm not Dr. Umar. I don't have nothing against the snow bunnies. I don't have nothing against African women, or people in general, white people. I don't have that. Listen, it's not even like that. But be who you're gonna be, right? Just be who you're gonna be. Let's continue. Let's go.
Growing up, having red hair and being so bullied, it's like I expected it.
In all seriousness, with the trend going on, all gingers are black, I have not felt this much love ever in my life. And to the girl that's making this go viral, I just gotta say thank you.
Oh, man, you know what? Black women, y'all did this. So this is what's going on right now. Y'all just, where were we at in this meeting? When y'all just recruited gingers to be, like, this remind me of, y'all remember the Chappelle show? When they was doing the race trade? We'll take Tiger Woods. Like sisters, we didn't delineate on this. Yeah, the race draft. We didn't delineate on this. Like, what on earth is going on? Yeah, we go look at the Chinese. They recruited Wu-Tang. I don't know what's going on here. Where are they getting this from? But yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Let's go.
This is like my third time trying to record this without crying, but I know a lot of this has been lighthearted. But when I became pregnant, my baby's dad is ginger. I'm ginger. And I remember being so grateful that I was having a boy because a daughter would be over-sexualized with ginger hair. And
what?
It's just so nice for people to appreciate the thing that makes us different, because that is the thing that I prayed away every day so that I wouldn't have to send my baby to school worrying that he's going to get bullied over something he can't control. This means so much more than people think. So thank you so much.
Oh man, another redhead crying and crying and gushing about being healed. I have so many emotions right now. I can't even process them all. The last 48 hours of my life, I've never felt more love in my life.
This whole gingers are black thing that's going.
All right, I got so much that I want to unpack here, man. All right, for why though? And see, look, everything that you all see that's happening is happening for a reason. And what we see on the internet is we see ideological subversion. They just do things that's wild, man. It's crazy, and then people start really believing it. People really believe, like, mental health in America is real. Champs v. Zion said, man, that's enough internet for the month. That's what I'm saying. And y'all feel free to click the link, man. Y'all can join in anytime. I mean, this is what's going on in America. I mean, I'm just bewildered right now. It ain't too many times where I'm lost for words, but this might be one of them times. And I always got something to say, but this might be one of them times. Speak truth. What's going on with you?
What up, fam? You hear me?
Yes, sir. You loud and clear.
Already. Man, seeing this, bro, I'm like, why y'all want our plight? Because it seems to me when we want our reparations and we standing on business to get our just due, now y'all trying to create some type of unity. And then on top of that, what you spoke about with Africa, bro, it made me feel like, so you forced us to leave our land, to come over here and work for free for 400 years. We never got reparations. You make us feel alienated because you say we don't belong here, go back to our country, but you're trying to colonize our country right now as we speak. Well, what do we do? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking about that, bro. Like, it's a whole lot. I'm trying to. I don't know. It's like, who are you and who sent you? Who are you and who sent you? What's the plot here?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're desperate. They running out of time, and they're actually losing grips of the world, based on our awakening, as well as you got BRICS. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And these other countries are coming together, and what they're really trying to do is reassert their authority.
Right.
But see, they don't understand that times didn't change, man. Things ain't what they used to be. I mean, I'm out here in Georgia, and they finding unalived Klansmen all over the damn place. I'm talking about they try to creep up in different hoods out here, and they just finding nothing but white sheets and body parts out here. Like it's been all over the news. And then you see all these brothers breaking out of jail every other day. Somebody's breaking out of jail. Like, these are signs of the times. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And even the earthly speaking, the weather patterns, all of that is signs of the times. They're just desperate. So they all their little proxies, they throwing them out in the media to see how the people are going to respond and react. That's why, you know, we just got to keep our composure and stay in the word. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a fact, bro. Like you mentioned with the Klansmen down there, you know, them trying to start this back up again. They don't understand that the byproduct of our children that walk the streets today are from the problems they caused. You know, from the civil rights era to the crack epidemic, and you know what I'm saying, in the California, whatever. You turned these kids and children into savages in a sense. So now, therefore, you're not going to be able to enslave a beast that you created. You just got to hope that we come and save these people before that agenda takes place. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. And when you hear Trump saying America first, really he's talking about the Knights of the Golden Circle, because that's where he got that ideology from. They used to wear that on the Klansmen suits. They used to say, they used to have it on their signs, America first. And that's who's really behind and backing a lot of this MAGA stuff. You know, people thinking that, because you got our own people that's standing with Trump thinking that he's for the people. No, these people are all wicked. They all in
Right.
secret societies.
Right.
They're all good old boys, and they all carrying on their family's tradition and legacy. But the more we know that, and the more we wake up, the more the world changes. And they
Real
just
talk, bro.
see them do different, more desperate things over the years. We'll see it.
Real talk, man. Before I get off this, bro, I'm gonna leave for all the viewers out there. I'm not sure if y'all heard of this before, but if y'all are aware of the former president, Lyndon B. Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
a quote that man said, paraphrasing, he said, "If you convince the lowest white man that he is better than the greatest black man, he will never know that you're draining his pockets." That's from a president. So I
That's
just want to leave
fact.
y'all with that, man.
Oh, that's a fact right there. That's a good take on that, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Already, bro. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, peace. Yo, that was real what he just said, man. That was a nugget. That was a nugget right there. You know why? Because you got a president who's been on rich lifestyles of the rich and famous all through the 90s, filthy rich. He didn't convince rednecks that he's one of them. He don't know nothing about their life. They're really convinced. The people, the prejudiced, bigoted rednecks that's up in the, on the Bible Belt, spewing out racial hate and all of this. Man, Trump ain't never been around. Like, he's been in the hierarchs of the Masonic temples. Yeah, but that man ain't going to no trailer parks, drinking no Budweisers with them people. But he's convinced them that he's one of y'all. So Trump got some soldiers, but them soldiers, man, ain't going on dummy missions. This ain't the damn 1930s. You run up on one of our people, bro. I'm telling you, ever since that boat dock incident, what state was that in? Y'all let me know in the chat. Ever since that boat dock incident, when somebody when the black folks came together and somebody threw out the WWE chair and there was a straight Royal Rumble right there on the dock, something changed. Yeah, it was in Mississippi. It seemed like every since that happened, was it Alabama or was Montgomery, Alabama? Yo, every since that happened, it's like something changed. I remember doing a video. I said, "Oh, something changing. There's a shift going on." Yeah, the Alabama riverboat. I'm telling you. Okay, we got let me see. Let me bring JJ Diesel, Cowboy Mon. What's going on?
Hey man, I just want to point out something I've been noticing. A lot of people don't talk about this, but you remember that last solar eclipse of April last year?
Yeah, I do.
You notice how the storm's been on the uptick since then?
You said the stones?
Yeah, natural disasters, but mainly storms and like tornadoes.
Storms. Yeah. I have noticed that. Yeah.
And it just kind of missed where I live at and stuff lately, and since then. But excuse me. But I've been all over the country, and I know who live in predominantly those areas live in. The Edomites live there, and God is not playing with His country. Not to mention the lightning that struck that plantation or whatever it was down in Louisiana. God ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Trump may not be the Antichrist himself, but he's. And then I heard about the Pope supposed to be picked, and he's out of Chicago, and he's declared one world religion. I know it ain't much time. We ain't got much time. I told a friend of mine from Florida, on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I told him I didn't think humanity has another 50 years, and I think I just felt I had to just
Yeah.
and
No, we may very well be in our last Pentecost. I can agree with that, brother. And I can honestly say, I was having this conversation the other day, and and then I don't remember who it was with, but I remember saying, hey, we might all be going together. And I was like,
Mhm.
the way this look, because the scriptures talk about, I show you a mystery. All are not, changed. No, everybody don't die at the end, because it might be just a time where it just all ends abruptly, and we just get translated. Because I cannot possibly see the next 50 years. I don't know what that would look like. I mean, they already got the AI taking over.
Mhm.
Everything, they right on the cusp of having the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is here technically, because people worship in
Mhm.
his image. But
Mhm.
I mean, the way the technology is advancing, I don't know, man. It's tough to see 50 years from now. It really is.
And then, not to mention, uh, well, I was blessed and everything. We had a storm here. Was that back in what, March or early April? We had some cases baseball size hail. And then just past Sunday, south of town here, it was a church that was destroyed. And then, like right there at the fairgrounds, it was a big old barn like building. It was level. I saw that today. This happened Sunday. I just was test driving my truck after I had some work done on my pickup. I
Right.
decided to ride through, and I just happened to notice that. I didn't see the church at first because I was looking so heavily at the other place, and then I'm coming back I turn around, come back on it's a 4-lane divided highway on the south of town, and I
Right.
had to watch the curve and traffic. So I come back the other way, I saw that church. I'm like, wow, and it hit a shop too, right there, not far from that church on the same side, coming back north in the town
Man.
from the south side, and I know something else. These big size hailstones is apocalyptic like stuff in these movies. That's
Absolutely.
been more common too.
Oh yeah, it's a lot going on. They talking about solar flares and all kind of power outages and so forth. Yeah, I mean, hey, we in those times, and that's why I like to kind of level things out with scripture. But of course,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen, I got to give y'all what's happening, the details of what's going on, and then we typically transition to the scriptures, because that's what it all boils down to. We battle not against flesh and blood, but wickedness and principalities in high places. So you just got to get
And then
prepared. Yep,
in 1 hour, her destruction shall come. Talking about mystery Babylon, which is this place,
absolutely,
and all the other places will mourn. All the other,
absolutely,
yeah.
no
I
doubt.
didn't want to hold you too long. Thank you for having me up. I got to go ahead and fix me a late dinner.
All
And I
right,
took my
thank
dog
you.
out, got everything else done. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, anytime, brother.
All right.
All right,
Shalom.
peace. Shalom. Yep, that's real talk. Kim says, not away, plantation burnt down, white supremacist training camp struck down, sundown towns getting destroyed. The Most High is not playing. Exactly. They better stop playing these games. They better stop playing these games. Hey, listen, the Most High is going to protect his people. He's not having that no more. I don't blame these gingers for wanting to be us. I don't blame them. But because the scriptures tell you to grab the coat of an Israelite. Grab the coat of an Israelite. Somebody bring that scripture. It tells the Gentiles, you can't be us, just like I can't turn into a Chinaman. I can't say I'm no longer an Israelite or quote unquote black man. But y'all definitely can learn the word. Y'all definitely can come over here and listen and learn, or learn from another person that's bringing out the Bible. Y'all can definitely cleave to our people, but you just can't be us, because that's called being covetous. That's idolatry. And see, we would have been cool. Look, let me tell y'all something. We would be cool as the tribe of Judah, foundational black Americans. We would be cool with anyone who is righteous, who is for our people. Anyone. I don't care where you from. But it's those people who want to exploit us. Those people who want to act like us but exploit us. They are problematic. Somebody said true Israelites are black and Latino. Exactly. They're black, Latino, Native American, Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Panamanian, Haitian, Jamaican. Yeah. Those are Israelites. King Connect came through with the scripts. What up, King Connect? Zechariah 8:23. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that's an Israelite. That means you got to take hold of us because we're going to lead. Listen, we're going to lead to the promised land. It may not look that way because of what they showing on television, but the Most High about to rectify this.
Going around is literally proving why black people are the superior beings. Because if we're being real, they haven't even had their time to shine to where black women are truly appreciated and put up on a pedestal and admired for the true beauty that they possess. They really haven't even had their time. And yet they're stepping back and like, yes, gingers, y'all have y'all's time, pop off, cousin. Do y'all big one. And that right there is.
Let's make this clear. I don't know what black woman told these people this, but they don't have the authority spiritually, or I don't know what other way it would be spiritually, constitutionally. They don't have the authority to change y'all's bloodline. They don't have the authority to do that. So I don't know what lady. I think. Let me see. I think I know who the lady is. I think this is her. I think this is her right here. I think this is the woman right here. Let me just hear what she got to say.
So I want to talk about the gingers are black.
All right. That's somebody commentating. Let me hear her.
Black, whatever. I'm not going to do a full video on it. I don't care.
All right. And I don't know who these people think they are, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what they thinking, bro. It's a different time we in. It's a different time we in. All right, let's continue.
And that right there is why I will forever, forever love and respect black women. Well, black people in general, but black women. All right.
But he's putting black women over black men. Now you see, y'all see what's going on right here. Y'all see this cultural misappropriation right here. See, we reclaiming our image and we getting back to our patriarchal status. And the gingers feel like they're now black people because black women who y'all believe to be over black men allowed y'all in. Black men, how y'all feel about this? All my brothers in the chat, how y'all feel about this? Talk to me, brothers. Wise the scholar says black women who aren't enlightened embrace this. I agree. Of course, black women talk to me. Y'all agree with this? Y'all ain't agreeing with this, are y'all? Now I know that ever since Cassie's husband sat by at the Diddy trial, a lot of sisters think that's love. They think that's love. And I heard a lot of them praising that guy, praising the white guy that rescued. Listen, peep this, y'all. There's a lot of black women on social media right now praising the white guy who stood by Cassie, protecting her from the black monster, which is Diddy. telling y'all, that's the type of narratives. That's the type of narratives that they want out there. Because it's all about dividing our women from black men. That's the narrative they want out there. Let's go.
And when I was watching these videos, I immediately thought of how unambiguous dark-skinned women are always every year or month. And look, it is black women with the power. These white redheads couldn't.
So all of these women right here welcome the gingers to being black. And they really are taking this thing serious. I mean, they crying about this.
Wait a minute to get on there. But we're going to see. So maybe now that.
I mean, this is literally trending on Twitter and on TikTok. And look at this caption right here. Black people are God's people. Jesus was black. I mean, listen. Are more gingers going to be admitting the truth now all of a sudden? Like, what is happening here? Where were they at before? If I got any white people in the chat, please feel free to click the link. Y'all got to explain this to us, man. What y'all think? What do y'all think about this? Let's have a mature adult conversation. Somebody said, too small of a population, no worries. Oh, there's a lot of gingers out there. I mean, let me ask y'all this. White people, if you're watching me right now, do gingers really got it that bad? I remember the saying, beat you like a redhead stepchild. Like, do y'all really look at redheaded other white people as like less than? Is that really a thing? Are they really going through real trauma? Like, because it seemed like any little traumas that people go through, they comparing it to damn slavery. They comparing it to Jim Crow. They comparing it to the 500 years of systematic racism. Everything that people go through. I think this is a ploy. Oh man, I just got it. Yeah, this is strategic planning. This is to minimalize our struggle. Oh man. That's what it is. They're making a mockery out of us. It's a mockery. Man, let me let Mr. Wild Seed in the building. What's going on with you, bro?
Oh man, you called it, hit the nail right on the head. Pull the sword right out. I'm like, they won't even pull no man or no, like you can easily get me. They could have got you. They could have got anybody that was of an influence on any platform. But it's like, since we ain't got proactive Diddy no more, and then Morgan Freeman too old, and Idris Elba don't want to do that, and Terrence Howard said, bump it, I'm finna go and search the skies and stars. They ain't got no real black man, because we ain't playing no pimps, we ain't playing no killers. No, everybody's on living in their truth. But the truth is, you ain't one of us. You were in the struggle with us, but it's like my homeboy Justin, I'm in East Point. He white. Okay, yeah, you can talk like us, you can walk like us, but when it comes down to it, bro, you don't have the rhythm, you make it dance, but you ain't gonna hit it like I'm gonna hit it. And Ginger, like, yeah, we trying to bring you in without telling you, it's a war out here. That's why your price is so high. And we trying to tell you very subtly in every way, because that's what us as Israelites and people of the Most High can do. We endow with the gift of the Most High. He tells us in every way. So we can tell you, who was cut off from all type of information because you chose that way. But I just went too deep. I went too deep.
I got you, bro. But you know what it is right now? Everybody can live their truth nowadays, even if it ain't the damn truth. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the scary part, because they gonna get hurt out here when it comes to actually having to grab onto the coattail. because you're gonna trip up on that physicality, on like you really think you a comedian, Kevin Hart, but you a planet. Like you really think you black, but you believe the lie they told you instead of catching on to how we broken the lies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, Ginger, you can ride with black if you want to do it like that.
Right.
But you need to wake up and see that. My spirit needs to be aligned with your spirit because this is a God thing.
Right.
And they get folks cut off, man. All these distractions, dude.
Right. No, I agree, bro. What it is they don't want to. A lot of people don't want to fall in line. The children of Israel are made to correct the whole entire world, and I think the brother said it earlier when he said when you can convince I think it was a president that he quoted that if you can convince them that even the least white man that they're better than a black person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to feel good. They're going to have some type of empowerment. But see, the thing, everything that they was taught is a lie. The scriptures say that the Gentiles should say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. So that's what they really should be saying. You know what? Just like the ginger that said Jesus is black. Look, you don't have to be black to say that.
Exactly.
Look, when before we knew the truth, we seen white Jesus, we didn't care. We just served the Lord. We didn't think about it. We never questioned it, nothing. When we were growing up in church, we knew Jesus was real. We didn't really, before we knew the truth of him being black, which he was, we still humbly served and submitted. All right, that's all we seen in grandma's house was white Jesus.
Right. Yeah, we went down. Yeah, we bowed down.
The Gentiles got to do the same thing. Now that you know that Jesus is black,
you got to go ahead and bow down.
Yeah, you have to humbly submit because look, the Bible says, "He who believes in me, as the scriptures have written, they should have everlasting waters of life." So guess what? You're gonna have to follow God's people just like we was willing to follow y'all. Hey, Esau's the
ain't nothing wrong with that.
nuts. Yeah, it is what it is. Everybody got to fall in line. That's why I say, look, I rock out with the Gentiles, but y'all just got to know y'all place. Y'all can't ever hop on my platform trying to teach me the Bible. I'm gonna throw you out the chat.
That was a trip. That was a trip. I was like, what the? I was like, who do this? Who do this?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take that as disrespect. Y'all not gonna jump in. That we're not doing that. Y'all come over here and be ready to learn because I'm not a novice in the faith. I've been teaching this word for almost 12, 13 years now. This is I'm very well versed in the scriptures. So when these white guys come over trying to teach, well, I'm a prophet of this and I'm a master teacher, and you on the wrong channel. You ain't gonna hit me with that.
No, we ain't gonna hit none of that.
Yeah, you're gonna fall in line and you're gonna learn. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's about,
you
man.
gonna find somebody else to do that with. Yeah. That entitlement to want to usurp authority is in their, it's like in their nature. Just like that one guy, he just put the black woman over the man. You don't do that. That's disrespectful. You don't even know that's a microaggression. Yep. There you go.
It sure is, because if we were to go ahead and say, okay, I'm gonna put Barbara Bush or Hillary Clinton over Bill Clinton and do all their lies, all they stories that way, we be wrong. But we only learning what you doing. Like, we showing you what you doing. We a mirror of that. But black people so good that even the African guy, South African president, you still let, even though you told the truth and you let Trump still say a lie. Man, fuck that. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't just bully me up because
he corrected him, though. He corrected Trump. He corrected him.
But Trump keep bullying people, and that ain't right. And it's like we got another plant in these gingers, even though they don't see what they doing really. But you bullying the black man again. He go through so much trauma already every day, all through his life, and now with this new trauma, like, and he the only one that can see it, and a black woman, his woman, supposed to be his woman, is playing a part in it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. Nah, that's.
But I appreciate you letting me on, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Hey, join anytime, bro. Peace to you.
Appreciate it. Peace to you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. We got to go back to these gingers for a minute. I think I really want to see what the lady said who, authorized this whole fiasco we have here, because they taking her words. Well, I want to know what she said, because we can tell a lot by that. So I'm gonna be pulling that up, and feel free to join the link if y'all want to chop it up. When we do our night streams, we'll pretty much be always sharing the link so we can have these critical discussions. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, if we do these every night, I'm pretty sure that you brothers and sisters are gonna be here for it. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. What was it called? Gingers are black. Who is this lady? Man, there's so many of them. I mean, this is really trending right now. I'm at a loss for words. Okay, so this is the woman right here.
You see a white man with red hair, that's a black man.
Oh, hell no.
You see a white woman with red hair, that's a black woman. Gingers are black.
Gingers are black. What is going on? I've been hearing this thing about gingers being.
So, ladies and gentlemen, is she the one who made this up? And why? For why though? She's not even giving no reasoning. Where's the context? Did she go to a scripture? Is there any context to this? I'm telling you, man, they playing with us, bro. They really playing. This is America is something else. They something else. Somebody said, yeah, she definitely tethered out with that one. Jennifer said, bro, I'm done. Y'all feel free to hit the link, man. I want to know what y'all think about this, man. Now let me tell y'all, if you hit the link, the topic of discussion is three topics, right, that you can address if you join. Let's keep it organized. It's black fatigue, white genocide, or gingers being black. That's what we doing. All right, so feel free to join. Let me see. Let me bring in, I believe that says Baquisha. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Let me get you.
I have something to say. It doesn't have necessarily anything to do with black dissonance, but I mean not black fatigue, but it does have something to do with, you were speaking to Trump earlier as far as him what were you saying? He was crashing the economy. Crashing the economy.
Yeah.
So me and my brother, we are both in the truth, and we were talking about, this inflation and the prices being too high. And about 2 months ago, my refrigerator was full of food, and now you can go to my refrigerator now, and I hardly don't have anything in it, and I'm making the same amount of money.
Right.
But so I'm really trying to rack my brain, because the Bible speaks. It says that all nations have gotten drunken off and rich off the atrocities, of this nation.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, why would he cut off? I'm trying to rack my brain, trying to figure out why would he cut off all of this, this trade and these, these products to this nation, which we are an over-consuming nation at that.
Yeah.
So, we got money so tall that we can buy $1,000 shoes and, things of that sort. So I was trying to rack my brain. So I go to my brother and I'm like, why do you think he's doing it? And he said something that was so damning, Nubreed. He said what he believed it was, because when people are advocates of Trump, the first thing they say is he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He's a businessman, and that is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that came out of my brother's, it gave me goosebumps because I know it's true. We talk about this. You talk about discretion on this channel. Discretion on this channel, not discretion. What is it? What's the word I'm trying to being able to see things through the eyes of the spirit. So
right.
What he said was, what he's doing is the reason why he's putting all these tariffs. Okay, I'll say this. So I'm in the grocery store. This was 2 days ago. I was looking for puff pastry. I get to the aisle with the puff pastry. I see the American version, Pepperidge Farm. It's $6 and it's $6.20. I turn the box over because I'm looking for those bioengineered ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they have it in it. I put it back on the shelf. I go to the next one. I pick it up. It's $8.30. I turn to the back of it, product of Italy. No bioengineered ingredients.
Right.
So this is what my brother stated. He was like, because people have woken up, because people are waking up every day, they're realizing, and the American goods have, and I've done my research on this, American goods have gone down exponentially in profits because of those bioengineered ingredients. So what he is trying to do is make other nations' foods higher so that we'll be forced to buy American foods with these bioengineered ingredients in it.
Yep, that is a good point. That is a good point right there. And it's not going to be successful because when people care about their life, people are going to do what they need to do, and they can't stop. You can't stop the awakening by trying to force it on us. I mean, they do this. It's been going on for a while too with different products, and I want y'all to be careful too. Just because something say it's chicken, don't mean it don't have that pork casing. So y'all better be careful out there.
Right.
They like to try to trick y'all and manipulate us. So always read ingredients.
Or that clone chicken. Just because it say it's chicken, it might be that clone chicken.
Yeah, real talk.
So I really don't eat nothing without no bone in it. Like
Yep. But back to your point though, most definitely, what it all boils down to is Trump is trying to initiate a retail apocalypse. And the reason why he wants to do that is because that's going to minimize our options. And eventually they can implement a system where it's a market of beast system, where they can control all the goods and services. And this is why we're always speaking about, self-sufficiency and things of that nature, because ultimately that's the goal. Now, we know that's not something that's going to happen in overnight, but slowly but surely, we're going to start seeing less goods all together on these shelves.
I agree with you on that.
Yep. And so, but we're going to keep on breaking free. We're going to keep on breaking free and doing what we need to do as the Most High's people. But no, what you just brought forward was very thought-provoking. And I thank you.
So I'm sorry. Can I just say one more thing? I just want to give your chat word of advice. When you grow into, because I picked that Italy box. I didn't pick the Pepperidge Farm, and I had to opt out of something else. So I know, we have these tastes in our mouths and we want to eat the foods that we're used to. But if you're used to buying 3 boxes of cereal, get to opt out of, you might have to buy something a little more expensive, but go ahead and do it. It is don't sacrifice your body and your spirit, because the Most High dwells in our bodies. So don't sacrifice that, to save a couple extra dollars. Just buy it.
Absolutely.
And don't buy them bioengineered ingredients.
Real talk. Great advice. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Join anytime.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, that's real talk. That's real talk. Somebody said drop the link. The link should be in the chat. But no, that's real talk though. And ladies and gentlemen, if you just joining, if you want to click the link, remember the topic is black fatigue, white. This sounds crazy, me even saying it. White, what is it? White genocide. Come on, man. That don't even sound right. White genocide, or you talking about these gingers who all of a sudden turn black. Whatever you want to talk about. Of course, Baquisha, she always come through and drop some nuggets, and she's welcome to come on and share her thoughts. If you joined me before, you know what I'm saying, I have more leniency on what you're going to discuss. But for the, new subscribers, new followers, people who want to join the link, that's the topic if you're interested. Somebody said, be careful about the cereal you buy too. Some of it has ingredients they should not have. I mean, everything. You got to read the ingredients on everything these days. I'm telling you. Imagine this. You living in a world where everybody got black fatigue and they're claiming white genocide. I mean, come on. You're living in a world where now white people who have red hair are now black people. I mean, where are we at right now, y'all? What is going on here? Are we in an alternative universe here? The inmates are running the asylum. Yeah, the Bible talks about a strong delusion. Surely does. Yeah, only 49 folks, 59 came over here from Africa after he done opened up, rolled them out with red carpet. Only 59 of them. But but it's genocide going on though, right? Let's see. Crypto, what's going on, bro?
What's up with you, Bree? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. What's happening?
Man, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I can't complain. Nobody don't want to hear complaints anyways, That don't help us out, man.
Yes,
But
sir.
I definitely want to first give you your flowers first. This is my first time on the show. I've been watching you for, probably 3-4 years. I agree with about 99% of the stuff. And as we are men, we have our own thoughts and opinions and views.
As we should. As
Yes,
we
sir.
should.
Yes, sir. But 99% of the stuff that you say, Breed, it has changed my life, my perspective, and just how I move and interact with people. So I appreciate you for that.
Man, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
All
But
praises.
most definitely, all praises due. But I definitely wanted to hit on that subject of, since this is my first time, black fatigue,
Yes, sir.
and the narrative around it and around our people, you know, you have showed me, and even in my own life, how positive of a people we are truly, you know and this whole thing, how they have taken the term black fatigue and switched it on us to just demean us, all you've been talking about, just demean us and show us in this light like we're just some evil, aggressive, evil people. you
Mm-hmm.
know so I wanted to just tap in with that thought, like they really are trying to destroy black men in what we actually stand for, who
Mm.
we actually truly are, these genius people, these spiritual leaders like yourself. Like, bruh, it's absolutely crazy what they doing to us, man, and I'm
No,
glad
you're
that we're
right.
standing up.
And they doing it to black men and black women alike, man, because, if you can imagine, they had our women in their houses taking care of their children, raising their children, breastfeeding, nursing, everything. But they'll take the media and find the Jezebels, the harlots, and they use them to they incentivize them first and foremost, and they use them to paint a picture of what our women are. They pick the thugs, the gangsters. They always pushing drug dealer shows to show them who our people really aren't, but to demonize us. And this is why we talk about reclaiming our image. And we got to let it be known we're not for sale. We are not for sale, because at the end of the day, everybody out, you got people of our own selling their image, being incentivized to act a certain way to get money, because the media is going to use that. When really, man, we the most forgiving, compassionate, loving people to walk this planet. And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? And they know it because we were good enough to, our women were good enough to raise their kids. And, it's just a shame that you got our own people buying into it. We can expect the Vikings and the damn conquerors and the colonizers to do what they're doing. We can expect them to do that. But then when you see people who's supposed to be representing us in a positive light, when they start doing the same thing, that's when it really, personally, that's when it gets to me, because it's like, you don't see the war that we're in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but no, you talking about it, Crypto. I mean, I can tell the way you just said that really bothers you, what they're doing to our image. And that's what we need, brother. We need to be bothered by it, because now you on this platform, a lot of people going to see this video, and you got to speak that out and clear up that don't represent you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The loud, cantankerous, combative, argumentative, violent, criminal, animal, savage, that don't represent Brother Crypto. That don't represent Brother Nubreed. That don't represent you brothers and sisters in the chat. But you got people out here who get incentivized to try to push that on other people. And we're not going to have that without saying anything about who we are. We're not going to be just getting abused and, in the media and dragged in the media. We're going to do something about that, because that's what our forefathers and our ancestors would have wanted us to do. They would have wanted us see us in our full humility and humanity, not being looked at like animals. And they will want us to speak up about who we really are. And that's what we're doing. That's what the whole reclamation movement is about, the image reclamation movement. And brothers like yourself, we want brothers and sisters watching. We want y'all to really embrace that. Because this brother just showed me that it's really bothersome when our image gets destroyed. I feel the same way, bro. That's real talk.
And I think we are at that point where we're starting to realize, just waking up and being, it's not even rebellious to the things that have always been here, stopping us from being who we are. It's more so like you've been saying, we're just not participating in that no more. But at this point, we have to, while rebranding our image, we have to come together and work together as well. It's something that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan says, to deal with your people, you have to have crocodile skin. It means tough skin. So you got to work with your people, even through the pain of working with them, because the goal at the end of the work is so much greater than the pain and suffering that you will deal with getting to that goal. The goal ain't the goal ain't myself, it's my people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that takes a lot of selflessness, because you may go through some things working with your people. You may have some fallouts. You may experience a great deal of pressure and stress, just like every other biblical patriarch. Anybody who brung the word, we all experience that, but it's not about our personal feelings. And what you just said is key. We got to work together, because at the end of the day, regardless of what you call yourself, as far as your religious beliefs, that's why I'm glad you brung up Elijah Muhammad, because we're not really coming in the vein of religion. We're more so saying that, hey, if we can stick together, and we can all agree that, our image is being tarnished, is being misrepresented, and we're being dismantled as a people. Regardless if you say you FBA, you Nation of Islam, you're Israelites. Hey, one thing that we can agree on is P. Diddy don't represent us. You know what I'm saying? Can we all agree on that? Can we all agree that these guys who was brung up since babies to carry out a script, some of them federal informants, some of them just have been created as characters. They don't represent us, and we're not going to allow that image that the media portrays through what they perpetually do, perpetual stereotypes. We're not going to allow that. Then if we come together with all the power that we have, bro, they're going to have to make some changes. And when we can rebuild our image and reclaim our image just as dignified, wholesome people, bro, that's a step in the right direction. That's when you can demand respect on a world stage. That's when there's some comprehensive plans in order, and they can't help but to appease those. So that, if we want to be somebody on the world stage and make sure that our children's children in the next generation can carry on, we're gonna have to start coming together. It all boils down to coming together.
Yeah. And what's really funny about this, it's not funny, but what's interesting is this technology, how quickly it's advancing. I know you talk about AI, and you talk about the pros and the cons of it. And
Right.
I'm a person, we got to always talk about that. I'm a person that, like, even with Trump, I'm looking at how to positively gain from these things, these people, this situation. Like with AI, man, I went to a summit today for it, and the stuff that I learned, the biggest lesson that I learned today was, it's not about the technology, it's about the human connection. It's if you understand people, you can leverage this technology to get to more people to help them. So,
Mhm.
AI do have some pretty bad capabilities, but maybe I keep coming around here and send you an email or something, and I can show
Sure.
you, like, bro, this stuff is, we need to be working together, because not just me and you, but just in
Right.
general, the people. But
Right.
we can create this stuff so fast now. I
Mm.
just literally built a whole web application in 7 minutes just by typing. So it's like, if we never had control or ownership
Hey,
of
crypto, don't tell them too much. No, we're gonna don't tell them too much yet. No, I'm telling you, hey, a lot of stuff you talking about, I'm already sharp and studying it. But the only
bro,
reason I'm saying that, because the information, it need to be facilitated amongst the brethren who in the know. I just,
yeah,
it's just certain nuggets. We on the same page with that. Don't get it twisted. We on the same page with that. I'm very well versed with the inner workings of what the AI can do, and I've been we working on some stuff. I'm gonna put you on to a couple brothers, man. You got to chop it up with, bro, because yeah, you already know. You're a wise brother, man. You already know what the future is looking like, and I tell people all the time, yeah, AI got its ups and downs. It got its goods and its bads, but you got to know how to adapt to society in general. And it's certain things that you just got to learn, right? And it's going to help. Actually, AI is going to help us bring people together for sure. But I don't want you to get into the details. I want you to
all
get
right.
into the
I'm
details.
gonna step down, bro. I'm gonna send you
But
a
thank
chat
you,
or
brother.
something. Yes,
I
sir. Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you though, bro. I definitely appreciate you, man. Hey, shoot me an email or something, man. I'm gonna plug you in with the brothers, man. Hey, man, we might have to start the Lions Den back up, because it's a lot of brothers in truth that's ready, man, and they know what time it is, and that's a good thing, man. Hey,
Yes, sir.
thanks for the support, the amateur. I appreciate it.
You know it, bro. I'm gonna hit you up. Yep.
Thanks, bro. Peace. Yeah, man, that brother. Hey, I know the knowledge that we give a lot of free gems over here, a lot of knowledge, but it ain't for everybody, man. Not right now, not yet. Yeah, why we wise as serpents out here. I know the brother's wise though. He knows what's going on. Let me see. Yep, let me see. I got a couple more people in the Lion of Judah. Lion of Judah, what's going on, brother?
Good. I did have one question. Because you said the Irish, like some of the Irish people weren't Israelites, but I did see this type of subject on GMS. So, because it said in Deuteronomy 30 verse 3 that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have the compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations, whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. Because sometimes they'll show an Asian person and say this guy could be an Israelite, but we might not know it because he's Asian. On the outside, he might be Israelite in the spirit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
GMS also.
Yeah. Now I was going to
Because
say that.
GMS teaches too, they're scattered to all nations. Because the GMS, because like who's to say some of the Irish people aren't Israelites?
Well, I don't know if those people who are gingers consider themselves even Irish. Number one. Number
Yeah.
two. Of course, we're not judging people on the outward appearance. Let me make that very clear. You know, but thirdly, what I want you to understand is what you see happening with the gingers claiming to be black people.
Yeah.
That's a movement in America. Majority in America, because a woman got on TikTok and just proclaimed that they were black. Now, why did they oblige that? Not because they learned the biblical truth, not because they came across GMS and said, "Oh, my spirit bear witness to the truth, and I believe I'm an Israelite from this tribe." That's not what happened. Somebody they came across a video on TikTok where a black woman said that they are now black people. So the question is, what is the incentive, or what is the motive for them claiming to be wanting to be black people? So
Yeah, I did find it strange though too.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, because of course, the black woman will always known to sell out the black man, and because she'll even bring other nations and call them black, because the black woman wants to be white so bad.
well, I mean, I would go as I would say this, right? And no, let's make it clear. We're not talking about all the brother Lion of Judah is not talking about all black women, because sometimes people have selective hearing. But what I want to say is there's always an agenda for these movements. They're never grassroots. When you see a trend going on TikTok, when you see a trend going around like that, there's a motive behind it. And a lot of the times it's to infiltrate our togetherness. And I really believe it's a form of mockery of what we've been through as people. You know what I'm saying? Whatever little redhead jokes that they've heard growing up has nothing on slavery or Jim Crow, but they want to minimalize our struggle and our plight. That's really what the agenda is. So I don't believe that they read the scriptures and they spirit bear witness to being Israelites. No, these people have a motive for wanting to be quote unquote black people, right? So
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, because another thing too, like Esau is like known for being sarcastic too. Because I just heard this from GMS too, but I was just thinking too, like the Irish slavery went worse as the black slavery, even though they claim, oh, the white slavery was worse because Irish people came over here under a contract, and the black people over here never came under a contract,
Right.
and they
No,
were because they can
hold
even
on
blend
real
in
quick,
with
young
other
man.
whites
Hold
too.
on real quick, young man. I hate to cut you off, but let me address something in my chat. Dark Universe that says black fatigue is real. You can join the link, because this is not just people joining a link who agree. Anybody can join. So you go ahead and state your case. But nah, brother,
Oh, and
as you were saying, brother, go ahead.
yeah, so and another reason I want to speak on the black fatigue, because the black fatigue is what's going on with that is that's the Lord separating the nations, because it says in Matthew 25 verse 32, And before him shall be gathered of all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from goats. So basically, all the nations are being separate, so we can see who's the Israelites and who's not. You know, is all the nations are being that's and it says it too in Matthew 24 verse oh, can I get the scripture real quick?
I understand,
No,
brother.
I'm reading the wrong verse.
Hey, brother, how
Yeah,
old
it
are you?
says in Matthew 24 verse 7, for all nations shall rise against nation, and kingdom shall be against kingdom, because it says basically the Lord is going to separate these nations in the end times,
Right.
so we
Yeah.
can know who's who.
That's why you see a lot of racial tension. A lot of people don't like when I use the term race war, but nation against nation is exactly what it is. All right. So biblically,
Yep.
nation is talking about nationalities, ladies and gentlemen. Different countries would be called kingdoms biblically. So you understand. But thank you, Lina Jude. I appreciate you, bro. Feel free to join anytime. I'm gonna let a couple more guests in.
Yeah. Yeah, and before I go, I thank you for and I appreciate this message that you spread on the internet. I mess with your music and I like your music very much. You know, your music basically has like a high vibration to it. You know,
Thank you.
like your music base that you produce is it spreads knowledge, and you know it's a good music.
Thank you,
You know,
brother.
because I even share it across my YouTube channel.
I appreciate that. There's gonna be some new songs
Because
dropping soon too.
because we
So
can because we as a people can make music without killing another black person or rapping about violence.
that's right.
Because brothers in back in the day used to make good music without violence. You know, I don't know why it is now, but see, we could raise the vibrations through the earth through the music, but obviously Esau don't want black people to go spread knowledge to other blacks about through their music. So that's why they infiltrated the music and
that's
infiltrated our culture.
that's
And it
not
mainly came from Amalek, the small hats too. Amalek.
right, right. No, that's nothing but facts, brother. Appreciate you though, man. I'm gonna allow some time for some other guests. You drop some major truth, and we appreciate you. Feel free to join anytime.
All right, shalom, brother.
All right, shalom, peace. All right, we're gonna bring brother Alonzo in. What's going on, Alonzo?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. What's happening, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Cool, cool. So what you talking about? We talking about white genocide, black fatigue,
About
or
what?
gingers becoming black people? What we talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You got to pick
Yeah,
one.
it's kind of off. I think it's part of the agenda, man. They're making like black people look bad, you know? Yeah, they're really pushing it, you know, like with P. Diddy, stuff like that.
Yeah, P Diddy don't represent black people.
Yeah.
Where you
And like,
from, bro?
I am from Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, they're taxing us. Do you know why America's taxing us crazy with the tariffs and shit?
Why?
Yeah, because, you know, Donald Trump, you know, has a problem with the Canadian president. Yeah, I think he's tariffing like China, Mexico, like all the countries. He's also building the Golden Dome. He's basically like securing his like territories and stuff.
Right. Yeah. He anybody that Trump tries. Well, actually, he's trying to be. What is the word for Canada? Trump is trying to be allies with Canada. Correct.
Yeah, but he's trying to take over Canada like he did
Yeah.
with Greenland. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what colonizers do.
yeah.
So let me ask you this: in Canada, what's the main religion in Canada?
Yeah. Most people are atheists because you know the churches are changing with the LGBT stuff like that. Yeah,
For
there are a lot of like transgender stuff like that.
most people in Canada are atheists.
Yeah, there's like a little Christians and like Indian stuff like that.
Right, right, right. So let me ask you, what you think about white genocide going on in South Africa? Is it real or false, or what are your thoughts towards that?
I think Trump wants to bring the white people because like what he did with like the in the news, right? Because he's friend, yes, Elon Musk as his like secretary or whatever. So I think he's trying to bring out the white people because he had to talk.
Elon Musk is from South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why. Yeah, he doesn't really care about the other races, right? Like he
Yeah.
doesn't care about black people, Latinos, Indians. He just cares about his own, you know.
Absolutely. No, you
Yeah.
got it right, brother. You got it right. Well,
Yeah.
man, I want to thank you for joining. You know, feel free to join anytime. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Peace to you.
Yeah.
Yep. No, he's right. Damian Pattinger. Or Pottinger. Cool. Hey, you got a little discrepancies in your audio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
My bad.
Yeah, you going in and out.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, one second. Hold on, one second.
Yeah, you got to fix your audio.
Okay, hold on.
I just muted him for a second until he get it right.
Bad time. I'm over. Okay, can you hear me though?
Yep, you loud and clear now.
Can you hear me, Nubreed?
Yes, sir. You loud and clear now, bro.
I can't really hear you. But my question is, it's kind of like not pertaining to what you're saying a little bit, but it kind of is, but it's not. But could I still ask the question if you don't mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I can't really hear you, but I'm gonna just ask the question. I'm gonna let you go because I'm driving and I can't hear you. But my question is this: how do you feel about Trump and the whole Republican situation where they want to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP and all that stuff? In my personal situation, I take care of my autistic sister. That's one of the jobs I do, and she gets funded through a program called IHSS, which is also funded through the federal government. So I'm trying to wonder if they cut that, if it's gonna affect what's gonna happen. I've been trying to I've been wondering what's gonna happen with that whole situation. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to have her in no home because I don't trust people. You know what I mean?
No,
people crazy out, you know that, So yeah, it's just wild, I'm not on food stamps, nothing like that. So, but I feel for the people who are, who do get food stamps. Like people, it's hard out here, man. We trying to make it like everybody else. You feel me?
Right.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Definitely. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that. I don't know if you can hear me now, but
hold on. Let me plug my earphones back. I can't hear you.
No problem.
If you want, you could just answer the question, and then I guess I'll just get back in the chat because I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on my mic.
All right. Bet. So I'm going to answer that. He wants to know what my thoughts are regarding the HUD SNAP benefits. I believe it was a $30 million cut that Trump did. And I think it's absolutely preposterous that he did that. I think it's it shows the disrespect that he has for people. Now, the way they were able to roll it out was saying basically that there's people who've been abusing the system, which there probably is. But instead of doing a $30 million cut, you really should have gave HUD more because there's more people that's hurting. There's more people that's messed up out here, and just put stronger parameters over the people who've been abusing the system. That's what he should have did. But what he really did was last month, it was people on Section 8, HUD, SNAP benefits, all of that. They were getting letters. They were getting letters last month. And then he waited a month later and said, look, he's going to do this cut, the budget cut. And I think it's wrong. There's so many people in need. You could have actually added 30 more million to HUD and SNAP and then just got the people off who was abusing the system. We're talking about able working body people, because there's able working body people that abuse the system. But I think that Trump is a classist. I think Trump doesn't care about the poor. So that's what he does. And it's, ever since last month, it was a lot of people sleeping in their vehicles, getting put out of their hood and their home in Section 8 and things of that nature. He didn't have to do it that way. So that's my thoughts on it. I actually covered that. I did a video all about his benefits. Somebody said, you got this one wrong. Trump is right. Well, hey, feel free to join. Feel free to join. This is why we have this discord in the public. Because you just being in the chat saying you got that wrong. What did I say that wasn't reasonable? I'm saying get the people off who abuse the system, but don't cut HUD, because in America, poverty is on an uptick. There's more people in need of Section 8 in the HUD than there was before. There's more people who are in need. There's more people on disability. There's more people who are homeless. There's more people who need it. Just get the people off who are abusing it. Give more to HUD. I mean, damn, if you can put 500 bill towards AI, you telling me you can't throw an additional 20 mil towards HUD? It seemed like to me he doesn't care about the poor. But if you have another argument that's sufficient, that makes more sense, you tell it to the public. That's why the link is here. See, on this platform, a lot of y'all gonna have to learn, who just like to come in here, throw little sidebar conversations. This is gonna be one of these platforms. Once you see it grow and get to that elite level that it's going, when you get in my chat and you just talking, just chit-chatting, and you opposing, but you don't want to link up, but you don't want to hit the link, I'm gonna start putting y'all on timeout for weeks at a time. I'm gonna take your right to be able to talk, because you don't want to jump on and talk. I want my audience consistently engaging. That's what it's gonna come to. I'm really gonna start doing it like that. And then some of y'all, yeah, Akuma said, you read my mind, read. Like, and then some of these people, this is what they do. They like to strangle the word out. They'll wait until the stream is over, and then they'll jump down in the chat and they'll say all their disagreements. When they sit up there and watch the whole stream, quiet. The link is right there in the chat. Yeah, that's right. We all here to learn. Don't be afraid to speak your mind, but don't throw assertions out there unless you're ready to defend what you believe. Right, man. I'll give it a few more minutes. But man, I don't know if y'all knew this, but man, there was an ICE agent. While I'm waiting on guests, there was an ICE agent, a prosecutor. Because I want y'all to know who's running these racist organizations. Look at this, y'all. I don't know if y'all went to this news, but I'm always looking at what's going on. Look at this. ICE attorney in Dallas accused in complaint of allegedly making racist, bigoted, xenophobic, hateful post on X. See, he got unmasked today. They found out that an ICE prosecutor was out here really running a white supremacist organization. Yeah. And I try to tell y'all, man, these are the Knights of the Golden Circle. These are the Klansmen that's running this government we in today. I'm telling you, hold on, is this the video clip? Is this the news clip? What's that? Nah, they talking about something else. Yeah, his name is James Roden. It says James Roden has exposed himself as a white supremacist while serving as ICE assistant chief counsel. Now you wonder why them people was up in ICE in those facilities living like hell, sleeping on the floor. What's that one facility where they had snuck a camera in there and all of the Hispanic people was sleeping on floors and all of that? You wonder why. This was the damn chief of ICE. He was running a white supremacist joint on X. This is breaking news. Nobody talking about this. Mr. D, what's going on?
Hey, brother Nubreed.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, I don't really understand the whole black fatigue. Where is that coming from? Is that coming from white people or black people?
All right, so Black Fatigue originally was a book written by a lady by, I forget her first name sometimes, but her name was Miss Winters, right? She wrote a book about the fatigue that blacks in America got from systematic racism. So as of late, white people and what we call tethers, people who hate their own people, they've been saying, you know what, we're going to reverse what this black woman created, and we're going to say we're going to call black fatigue us being tired of black people. We're tired of them being loud, obnoxious.
Wow.
We're fatigued of hearing about their plight and what they've been through. So now it's trending all over TikTok. It's going viral, where you got white people. I mean, as bold as ever. I can play a video for y'all in a little bit, but they're as bold as ever, saying, "Look, we just tired of black people." And some of them saying that they really want to just call us N-words altogether. And so, I just think it's a lot of irony behind it, because you don't hear us talking about how we're just tired of. You don't hear us talking about we tired of white people, but we built the country and they're tired of us. So that's what, in a nutshell, that's what it is.
It's so disrespectful. It's just so disrespectful. And
Absolutely.
I had to stop listening to certain people like Alex Jones. And, I used to like to listen to him, but it's just like lately he's so far on like Donald Trump and Elon, and he don't even really, it's like he's one of them. When you don't see what's going on in the world, and you're just complacent to what they're doing. Yeah, you're right. Donald Trump don't care about us, and I've seen this racial divide just to continue to build and build. And there's this one guy, I can't remember, Blanche. He is Blanchard. I don't know if you guys know him or from Instagram, but he just gets on my last nerves because he's always trying to put our people down. Sorry about that. I live by a metro train. He's always trying to put our people down. He's a black man, always trying to put our people down to bootlick white people. And it's like, honestly, remember when the George Floyd stuff, everything happened, and they came out, George Soros backed the Black Lives Matter and all of that stuff, and then they were putting it on the NBA uniforms and the NFL, and they're the ones that's causing this. It's like the system. Yeah.
And it's interesting you brought that up, because a talking point that they often revert to is the BLM movement. They'll say, well, we're tired of black people because when what is the guy name that had the knee in the neck? What is the guy's name?
Oh my God! And they're about to try to get him out of prison.
George Floyd.
The one that the cop.
They'll bring up George Floyd, and they'll say that y'all tore down the cities. Y'all we're tired of it because y'all burnt down the cities. No, that was Antifa burning down the cities. Those were people in masks. They had the bricks strategically put there. We know that was George Soros funded. But see, they were doing that the whole time to be a trigger and say, you know what? Remember how BLM did. BLM was started by Marxists.
A Marxist and her girlfriend, her Jewish girlfriend.
Exactly. But they used that as a talking point to trigger us, because look, they moved, they got far away from black people. I hear a little bit of an echo, but they got far away from black people, and they moved to a ritzy conclave in the Hollywood Hills somewhere off of black people's money. You know what I'm saying? And now when we hear Black Lives Matter, you got our own people saying, I'm tired. I got black fatigue too. They were hired. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they did. You're right. I'm glad you brung that up, because a lot of people don't know that, and they stay using that talking point. So you right on time with that one.
And then people don't even really realize when you start to really dig deep in where Trump, he got his degree. He went to a Jesuit university. And we know those Jesuits.
Yes.
They're all a part of, like, they're either Jesuits, the Jews, and the Catholics. That's the system
Oh yeah,
that runs the whole world.
you're gonna make me do a part 2 on my Trump exposed. I'm telling you,
Yeah, we have to, brother, because a
I have
lot
to
of
do it.
people
There's so
are
much.
so blinded. He's
Yep.
one of them. And when you say
Most
when they put on that little hat and they walk up to that wall, and they pay that homage, that Roman ritual, they're all one of the same.
Absolutely.
And yeah, go ahead, brother. I'm telling you, I love your content, Nubreed. You are
Thank
just
you.
off the chain. And what happened to Rainbow? I
Oh
hate to
man.
just, because man, you crushed him when you put that video. Oh my God. When you I just haven't seen him or heard from him since.
Oh man, I just want to be left alone, do my content, Hey, the one thing about it, look, y'all, let me tell y'all like
Speaking of
this.
tethers earlier.
Yeah, we very peaceful on this side, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we not about contention. We not contention
Oh,
creators,
don't
but
mess with the lion, though. Don't
yeah,
mess
we
with the lion of Judah.
absolutely we will definitely set the record straight.
That's what's up. I didn't even know you do music. When the brother said you do music, I'm like, oh, I gotta go check out Nubreed. If Nubreed is you got music, I'm like, I'm just finding out. And I've been
Oh
watching
yeah.
you for a few years, but mainly I started watching you more often because I was a part of I would say an Israelite church. I was always want to ask you though. I'm still in the truth, but I'm just not with that organized situation. But I've always wondered why aren't you a part of any particular group of people? And I whatever what happened to us in our situation, a brother named Brother Bronze and his family. I always went. I said, this is why brothers like Nubreed just stand alone.
Yeah. I got people that I network with, build with, some people that I know that are in the truth. Some may be a part of an organization, some not. And I just, kind of choose to be on that solo journey because, I came in this truth. When I learned the word, I've seen them come, I've seen them go, I've seen what goes on in some of these camps and organizations. And also, once I started really making some real strides in empowering our people, doing actual activist work, not advocate work, but activist work, going into the community, one thing in particular that really changed my mind about really building in camps and groups is after I went to Africa and I went to Liberia and I met the vice president and I met the tribal community and they offered us over 200,000 acres of land. And I came back to America, and I was giving a report, telling the camps, telling everybody, any group you can think of. I reached out because I hear everybody talking about Babylon and all that. I'm like, look, I'm in good with these people. They offering X, Y, and Z, and then I realized that people wanted to build churches. It wasn't really about being free. And I'm not to disrespect them because you need the education from the churches too. But I'm thinking on a different level. I'm thinking about, look, we need our own water. We need our own city. We need our own police. I'm thinking of the way my mind works is on nation building, not building churches.
I love
So,
it, Nubreed.
and I got a lot of, I think I got a lot of pushback for vocalizing that publicly. And a lot of people just didn't want to work with me because they rather do their church thing. You know what I'm
Yeah, they
saying?
want to control. They want to
Yeah.
control people like you with a voice.
Yeah.
And if they and it's just a lot of, it's a mess. It's a mess, brother. Maybe one day, I can talk to you about it offline. But I also wanted to just leave you on this note and ask you, maybe this whole ginger thing they're getting from Esau, Genesis 25 and 25, where it says that Esau, he came out first and he was red and he had hair all over him. Because
Red
every
and
time I
running.
see those gingers, I always think, there go Esau. You know what I
Esau.
mean?
Yep.
And he was Jacob's brother.
Right. And yeah, I think that may be where it's coming from. I didn't really hear the context. I got to look a little more into it because I don't know why that lady was saying that. But hey, I mean, at the end of the day, all civilization come from a black woman's womb, technically. So
Period. And then and they got us all messed up because our people are traveled. And I mean, King James, believe it or not, was a black man, and he ruled
yes,
over Ireland, Scotland, and England, Angel's Land, all at one time. And
yep,
so those Irish slaves, they automatically think white Irish people. No, those were our people, just like the Spanish Inquisition. Those were our people. Those were the children of Israel, Hebrew people that
mhm,
were that the Spaniards kicked out. And just people don't really understand that because that history was erased or tried to keep from us. But
that's
I just
fact.
want to say that they might be getting that whole Esau was red.
Mhm,
And then we know that Amalek was his grandson, and black women can have albino children. I've seen it even to this day.
mhm.
There was an African couple. If you just Google it, late African couple has like white two twins. One is black,
It's
one is
white.
white. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This happens, but melanin can be got, a lighter skinned child, as we see with albinos, but white people can't begat black people,
Exactly. No,
so
you right on point because you got one fool on here teaching that Esau is a black man, as if we can't produce both, as if you can't have what we call albinos,
yeah,
as if another nation can't be produced from the original person, the original. We came from the earth and we are the original. So, but
facts.
no, that's facts. You right on point with that
Well,
for
man,
sure.
I love you, New Breed. I'll
You
try to
too.
tap in another time. Keep up the great content and the great work. We with you, brother, praying for you.
Thank you. Absolutely. You feel free to join anytime. Thank you.
Thwada.
The water. That's a wise sister right there. She know what she talking about, man. Man, they better stop playing with our people, man. We know this word. We know this truth. Let me see. I see Mike Holmes in the building. What's going on with you, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Nubreed?
I'm doing well. How's it going?
Yeah. Oh, I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm at the job right now, working, just listening to everything. I kind of caught the stream late because I was working and everything. How you been?
Nope. I'm good.
Peace
I'm
to
good.
everybody.
I'm good. So, hey, the topic of discussion, hey, white genocide, black fatigue, or gingers turning to black people. You know what I'm saying? That's the topic. You can pick one or hit all three in a timely fashion.
uh, I would say the black fatigue thing. That's just like you said. That's just more so of people that's supposed to be like us or black people that's basically trying to put down the next person to try to build themselves up. And I
Mm,
think that's like real like that's I don't know. I just feel as though that everybody go through things, so you shouldn't have to break down somebody else just to build yourself up. And they trying to basically help the powers that be to keep up the system by breaking down other people and making it seem like that the black people is the ones that's doing wrong, but really it's not the black people. That's just they using those people to like you said as others to basically go out there and spread the
mhm.
word of the bad word of the black folks to make them look bad, but really it's not the black folks. They just some set up people, and
Right. And
that's
then look, and then you also got you right on that, but then you also got white people who are bold with
mm,
it. And they online,
yeah,
and they like, look, yeah, we tired of you M's. We tired of you.
mm,
So you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I believe it's a movement through the strong right.
mm,
And you know how these tethers and raccoons want to do. They just gotta try to find a place. They just gotta try to get in there. Like, all they want to do
mm-hmm,
is be glorified by white people, get a pat on the back
mm,
from the white man, and think they can get a
yes
few
sir.
extra dollars in it. And that's what it is. It's like, look, if you're gonna turn on your own people, that white man ain't gonna trust you because they know you're gonna turn on him too.
Yes sir.
They're gonna use you and disregard you. That's a fact.
Yeah, you right, definitely, and then they do it because honestly, the white folks, honestly, no disrespect, but it's just being honest, and they can see it. The white folks know that some white folks get comfortable in saying the word. Once they see other people say it, and then they think they can say it. And I just seen people the other night when I was sitting out here working. It was like four white folks. They was walking past, yelling the N words, like they was screaming or saying it, but they was walking with each other. They was just saying the N word. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of yelled over there and told them keep that mouth closed and all that. But they ain't see me because I was just sitting there chilling. But it was just it's crazy how they get comfortable saying the word. So it's like they want everybody, like you said in the stream, you said that they want everybody to basically be comfortable in just saying it online, saying it anywhere. It's just they want anarchy. They want things to happen. They think that that's going to be the trigger word for people to start snapping.
Right, but yeah, that's what they want. But we're not going. It's just a word. Don't let
Yeah, we're not going to. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, don't let no word get you to crash out on them
No,
people, man. Let them.
yeah, I'm not though.
Yeah, let them people say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Long as nobody put
Yeah,
hands on your persons or nobody touch you, it is what it is. They can say what they want to say.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, you're right,
Yeah,
and I definitely appreciate you. Thanks for the input.
yes, sir. You welcome, Nubreed. And I just want to say, not to cut you off. I really want to be a part of the mission. I definitely am. But I have a lot of things going on, so I'm trying to cover everything. But I definitely will support you more, and everybody else on the chat. Everybody just support Nubreed, and he's definitely the one. We just had to just open our eyes up to keep the mission going behind what's all in front of us, and that's Nubreed and the Most High God in Christ for us to go on a mission. Basically.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you,
Well,
brother.
Gladiator, it's Gladiator too. Gladiator too, and Andre is my real name. So,
Okay, I
and
keep that in
you know
mind.
what I mean?
Thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
All
You're
right.
welcome. Have a great night. Bless.
You too. Peace.
All right.
And yeah, the brother said, make sure y'all showing some support. I don't really be on here begging or nothing like that. But I'm gonna check the Cash App and give some shout outs. I'm gonna give some shout outs to people who've been supportive of the broadcast. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to J1. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out, let me see. Shout out to Katina Jennings. She's always continually supporting. Gladiator Bullock. You know what I'm saying? Cornell Baker. You know what I'm saying? Just to name a few. Just to name a few. You know what I'm saying? Because, I get on here and I put out a lot of good information and I don't really get the support that I should get for some of the things I put out. And, it's appreciated. And I make sure I shout y'all out when y'all show y'all support. You know what I'm saying? If the content is helpful for your walk in your journey. And yeah. So, man, we did this thing, man. We really did it, man. We've been building for a minute. And let me see here. Yeah. What a blessed stream. What a blessed stream. I want to thank y'all. Y'all feel free to join anytime. We're gonna be doing these late at night Jones, on a regular. Because I like to do my night streams because people are more prone to really get the word and let it digest towards the evening time. But and then it's summertime, man. I'll be ripping and running out and about during the day a lot. You know what I'm saying? Family life and so forth. And sometimes I hit y'all with a video during the day, but we'll do our streams right here. Kim C, what's a good movie I can watch this weekend, y'all? Hey, honestly, I'm thinking about going to see that. Let me see. Oh, I'm thinking about going to see that new Final Destination, man. I'm thinking about going to see that this weekend. Because I watched all the other ones. So I might as well go see the new one. But anyway, man, thank y'all. Y'all be blessed out here. Y'all have a good night. Let me see. Let me check. Make sure. All right. Make sure I didn't miss nobody. But feel free to show y'all support. My Cash App is Nubreed Global Truth 77. If this was an excellent show and you enjoyed it, you enjoyed the chat, support the broadcast. Also, follow me on Patreon. Support newbreedglobaltruth.com. I'm about to be rocking a lot of the merch over there. But I'm about to be rocking a lot of merch. Dymo says, I have a question. You got to hurry up and ask your question. That's why I had the links open all this time. Nicole Black says, have a blessed night. Will do. Thank y'all. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Shalom. Peace.